because nobody can go through the eye of the needle holding hands with each other. We each of us have to do our own thing to get us through, and we're not going to. I don't believe that those of us that are really awake and on the path, and even those that are loving and charitable and benevolent, but maybe they haven't awakened to more of the expansiveness that where we're at. It's not that they're going to be left behind either. There's a lot of good people on this planet that are going to have an opportunity to make this transition, and
right.
So that's what we have to. We just have to hold on to that and protect ourselves from all of the mind control and the media and the fear, because right now that's not going to help us ready to go home.
No, it's actually creating the opposite, and that I think that is the intention of that, is to just generate more fear, just really lower the frequencies, create a lot more death and dying and toxic energies and toxic chemicals on every level to try to inhibit this process. But it's a process that can't be stopped, and there's no man that can stop it. But there are men that will try to stop it.
Well, and I think that's part of the lessons that we're learning as humanity is when we come together and we come up with better solutions. And those solutions will not be put into motion in this dimension, but they will undoubtedly be activated and utilized after we've made this shift. And that's how I see it anyway.
Yeah. Now, Dolores Cannon talks a lot about this shift in her. She was doing regressions and then, I guess, pregressions. It was, or what do you call that when they go forward? I think it's pregressions, I guess. But in hypnosis, and she was taking people forward in time, and they're all talking about this duality and this split that happens, and to Earth. And it's been written in ancient Nordic lore, all these different ancient lores. It's even in churches they show two Earth. They show a spiritual Earth and a more dense physical Earth. And so if we raise in frequencies, we could just step out of this reality into a whole different reality. And what's really interesting here is that a lot of the students that have been coming here taking the self-mastery classes and doing Kunlun are actually shifting, and we have photographic evidence of this where they're disappearing. They're sitting in their chairs.
I read that on your thing. That is so cool.
Yeah, you can see right through them all of a sudden, and the next thing you know, they're gone. And I have a lot of photographs where I actually shift from a physical being to there's just some weird energy happening there, and then there's a golden orb, left, and that's it. So it's kind of interesting. We are multidimensional beings. We're not just this physical body and this personality. And in our ultimate, reality, we're just pure consciousness and energy that's eternal. And so we also have eternal bodies beneath that as well. That
exactly simultaneous lifetimes happening. And you just made me think of something I did a few years ago when I was up at my cabin in the mountains. I filmed myself, James. I was talking to the camera about, because I'd been on the ship the night before, and I was sharing what I and how I had actually captured a mothership across the sky. That's on my website too, under the videos. It's The Amazing Journey on Film, and it's all the diamond lights of the mothership that go across the sky that are hundreds of miles long. And the only way I get that is to go backwards in time on a millisecond, and that's how I was able to capture it. So I'm filming myself and by myself, and the camera goes from night vision to color to night vision. So, I'm changing, and then all of a sudden I disappear on film. and then I'm back. So I showed that to a group of people, I guess back in 2002, and they said, that's when I really knew you were the real deal. So I'm sure that and people say that even their pets are like disappearing. They go into a bedroom, and they couldn't have left the bedroom, but they're not in the bedroom. So I think that there's a lot of portals. People are hearing noises on the roof, like, there's people walking on the roof. Have you noticed that, more noises happening in the houses?
Yeah, it's been crazy. And just last night, well, not actually last night was a good night's sleep finally, but the night before, I had so much energy coming in. It was crazy. And I heard this big boom on the roof, really loud. And we've been hearing footsteps running back and forth on top of the roof. That's not uncommon, basically here, because we see the little people running around here all the time. And quite a few people are actually communicating with them, and it's quite interesting. The people here that are very soft and gentle and very plugged into the earth are having communications with these beings to where they're actually touching them and becoming physical enough to where they can see them and actually film them. But it's quite interesting. That's what I see happening, is that the vibrations, we rise in frequency, we enter a new world, and then all of the supposedly mythological, characters we thought didn't exist come into existence, and next thing you know, we're standing amongst the gnomes and the fairies and the Bigfoots, and might even have a unicorn running around. Who knows? But
exactly. Well, it makes you appreciate Walt Disney. All of those fairy tales, and I mean, when you wish upon a star, all your dreams come true. I mean, like we've been looking at the stars all our lives, and now they're not just stars, and we realize that it's been contact.
Did you see the photo? I was wondering, did you go to the website yet and see the photographs we took recently?
I haven't seen your website in the last few days.
Oh, you got to see this, because we had a Japanese monk here, and he actually spends a lot of his time in the caves. And he's been bilocating, just bouncing all over the place lately. And, he's having trouble keeping it down, we have photographs of him just disappearing in a cloud of smoke and gone, But, quite interesting. But he's was here, and, the first thing I asked him to do is the first thing that happened to him was Kuan Yin appeared to him. And she actually materialized, started out as this ball of light and all these beautiful colored orbs, and they coalesced into Kuan Yin, which was amazing. And so he photographed her with his cell phone, in a pure dark field, nothing there, so he got this photograph. And then he took 3 photographs of the event, and there were some Japanese people here that came to write an article on him and experience his energy while he was here. And they were there, and they grabbed his cell phone and went into it and checked it all out and everything, and they gave the green thumb approval on it, said, this is real. So the next event, he came back here again. He loves this place. He says, it's so special. I love this place. He just loves hanging out here. And so the felines appeared to him, and these felines are like, in the movie Avatar, but little.
Oh, all right.
But a little different than Avatar, because they have fur, and the fur is very close to them, and it's kind of like a white or a golden fur. And these beings are 10 to 12 feet tall. They're very, very tall. And they appeared to him, and he photographed them, and he got photographs of them as well.
Oh, my goodness. Those are on your website.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I asked him I said, hey, can you get a picture of Ezekiel? He appears, basically it's Ezekiel and Cassia, which is a combined energy, but it appears as a golden white light. And so that appeared to him in the field. He took a picture of it, and this big golden white ball of energy with wings appears. And behind it you see this crystal city, and this is in a field with nothing